OUE Skyspace LA, whether you'd like to soak in the sun while taking in skyline views or ride the thrilling Sky Slide, discover the creative capital of the world where the view is just the beginning. USC fans score a free ticket using code USC19 at OUE-skyspace.com. Jordan Moore, Sean Cody on Trojans Live with Angela Kulikov from USC Women's Tennis. And the women of Troy have found their groove, 13-3 overall. 4-1 in conference play. And Angela, this is year 2 under Allison Swain. Mm-hmm. It seems like it's starting to come together. What has worked for this team that you've been able to really find the best tennis that you guys have played in some time?
Yeah, I mean, it really has. I think this season has gone way better than any of us could have expected. Anyone, even in college tennis, could have expected. Allison's really big on team culture team culture over even tennis talent. We clearly have a lot of talent on this team, and that's showing, but really just the emphasis on getting the freshmen to buy into what we're trying to do and to really just prioritize the team team over me has been a big deal, and it's just been really exciting to see what we've been doing this season so far.
Angela, talk a little about your goals as you spoke to them as a team. What about yourself individually? Coming into the season, what did you want for yourself as some goals?
I wasn't really sure what to expect. We had a really tough season last year, I'm not going to lie. We were, obviously in a bit of a rebuild phase. Yeah. So for myself personally, being on a team is something that's very unique to tennis. You don't get to do it besides these 4 years. So my goals have always been about just trying to do something big with the team and do something special. So this year was about how can I lead the younger ones coming in? How can we kind of set the tone and get back on track? So I didn't expect it to be this meteoric, but I just wanted to find ways to show them how to do the right things, and it's been incredible so far. So,
tell everyone about your other talent. You got a pretty good arm there as a quarterback. That's a unique story. Share it.
Yeah, I was a bit of a tomboy growing up. I tell this story a lot. It's funny, but tennis and football, or at least quarterbacking, it's a little similar. The throwing motion and the serving motion. Yeah. So I would throw a little bit with my coaches when I was younger and with the boys at recess. And I was injured for a few years, around 14, 15, 16, and ended up coaching my younger brother because I found out he had an arm. And in coaching him, I had to learn it myself. So I kind of started developing this talent. And I've already had the passion for football growing up, so it kind of kept growing together. And as I came to USC, which has such a rich tradition in football, obviously it culminated in this idea I came up with of the QB chick on Instagram, where I just post what are honestly just old videos from his private quarterback coach's phone of me messing around with taking reps with him at practice, and it's been super fun.
Well, I'm a defensive lineman, Angela, and our job is to take the quarterback down. So I don't know if I'm such a big fan of her being a quarterback.
You're now anti-quarterback. This is your new stance.
Yeah, but has it been fun for you to do that? Is that a release for you as the pressurized as collegiate sports can be in tennis stuff? Is that kind of a release to something you can get some pressure off? Definitely.
I mean, tennis is such an all-consuming sport, so it's nice to have something on the side or something. I'm such a sports nut, so I need to have something athletic that I'm doing. But this summer I had a really big training summer, and I was here practicing quite a bit. So just having this little outlet where I could, go over to Howard Jones Field and throw a couple passes and.
What kind of, are we talking routes? What kind of stuff are we seeing out there?
Yeah, we're doing trees. Routes?
Oh, wow.
We're running a few concepts. No, I'm kidding. No, mostly just running routes. It's tough to find receivers here sometimes,
We have lots of receivers. How can it be hard to find receivers? We have some of the best receivers in the country.
They're just a little busy,
I think it's time to put them to work. And, we have a quarterback competition going on. If you want to just put your name in there, you might like the air raid offense.
I'd love it. I'm just waiting for my shot. Coach Helton actually came to our matches this weekend, and I think I was a little too invested in mine to know it, but I found out after, and I was like, oh, my God, I missed it. But
Could have sold him. You talked about the team aspect of tennis, and it's such an individual sport. Your whole life, it's such an individual sport. Mm-hmm. And do you think maybe that's your sort of love of football and team sports, that this is a nice sort of fit for you in college, that you do have that team competition?
Definitely. I mean, if there was one, I wouldn't even use the word regret, but for lack of a better one, I will. I wish I did pick a team sport. So these 4 years have been, or 3, I got one more left, thank God, have been really, really special for me. So I'm definitely someone that thrives better when I'm playing for someone or something bigger than myself. So getting to do it with these girls has been just the time of my life.
who do you kind of model your game after? You know, if someone was watching you or hasn't seen you play yet, what would you kind of describe your game as? You pick forehand, backhand. What are we going to see out there for watching?
I like the little model right there.
You nailed it.
Shadow
Look at my hips. See my hips turn still? That's pretty good.
It looks good. It's a tricky question. My game actually changes quite a bit. I think that's what makes it so interesting. I was a big Rafa Nadal fan. I wanted to have this heavy forehand. I definitely have a more athletic style. I used to joke, you know, I want to play closer to how the guys play just because they're obviously so good. And so I try to be a little more creative, use my backhand slice, which is a little non-traditional for women's tennis, and really just try to make it about being an athlete out there versus being a tennis player, because you can win so many more matches on being an athlete than just having a big forehand or a big serve.
All right, you have 3 home matches this week, so a lot of chances for people to come out to see you Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday, all at Marks Tennis Stadium. How good can this team be as you hit the closing stretch of the season? You know, where do you think this team can go?
You know, I think we all made the mistake earlier on of setting limits on the goals, because every goal we set this year we've absolutely demolished. So I just feel like it would be dumb of me to set our goals any lower than all the way and competing for a national title. But at the moment, you know, we have UCLA coming up at home. That's going to be a big one. We beat them at their place. That was a huge upset for us. But I think this weekend proved to us that this isn't a fluke. We're not just a bunch of talented puppies. We're actually real dogs that belong to be here. So, you know, we're excited to take care of them. We got to protect home, obviously, and then we want to take our shot at the Pac-12 tournament coming up. So we'll see.
I love it. Some dogfights this week at Marks Tennis Stadium.
Angela Kulikov, coming at the net. I'm coming at the net. I'm going to the net.
Strategically, that would.
I got to end the point quick.
That's how I play. I'm up there.
That would make a lot of sense. It'd be a good doubles team. Good doubles team. All right. Speaking of a good doubles team, we have USC's #1 beach volleyball pair coming up next. You're listening to Trojans Live.